Hello and welcome to EBAday 2022. I'm Hannah Wallace, and joining me in the studio now to discuss broader payments infrastructure and the opportunities and risks that surround instant payments is Matthew Lane, Head of Open Banking and Instant Payments at Visa Europe. Matthew, thank you very much for taking the time out of the event to speak with us.
Thank you, Hannah. And I mean, what a joy to be here. I think this is Visa's kind of first journey to EBA, and thank you. What a glorious conference we're having. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. I know you've got a big team here with you as well, so lovely to have you. And this is a really interesting topic at the centre of a lot of discussions over EBAday, I'm sure. But tell us, what's the argument for increased adoption of instant payments? And do you think this can be achieved? Let's start there.
Well, I think use cases all of a sudden become really important in the adoption of instant payments. And the things that kind of jump out to me is not necessarily the point of sale or e-commerce, but I think things that really add value from a customer point of view around things like bill payment or SME invoicing, those kind of things. So I think the adoption really comes from those kind of use cases, and I think some early use cases, that we'll see in that area will really help to drive adoption of instant payments in Europe.
Sure. Well, thank you very much for setting the scene for us there, Matt. And so let's hear a bit more about what you're doing at Visa.
Yeah.
How are you supporting those new innovative use cases that are helping to improve people's lives, basically?
Yeah, sure. So I think what's really important when we think about the functionality that Visa can provide, and the platforms and the systems as well that we offer. It's not always about technology. It's actually about enhancing the consumer journeys, or making it easier for consumers to pay. So a lot of the thinking that we've done revolves around, for instance, things that happen before the payment is made. So really helping the customer through the journey. And really helping them to think about ways that they can, or how and when they want to pay. So I think those are the things that we think about. And from a SME perspective as well, it helps SMEs kind of think about ways that they can collect payments easier. Things about receipt of the actual payment as well as managing things like cash flow. So those things are really important from an SME point of view as well.
Sure, that's interesting to get the SME perspective there. So taking that into account then, what do you think the future holds for account-to-account payments, and what role does Visa play in that future?
So I think what's important from a Visa point of view is just thinking about some of the the challenges that adoption is going to take forward. So from a thinking about the ways that Visa can kind of innovate in that space. So one of the things that we kind of looked at and we've been working on is sort of request to pay, and we've been thinking about that probably for the last sort of three or so years. And from our perspective, we were one of the first to launch a request to pay service with Pay UK's new service in the UK, and we've been iterating and kind of finding ways to join up the dots in that service as we've gone. What's really important is not just account-to-account payments, but also things like offering maybe cross-border services for particularly with things like card as well, and combining those journeys, so it includes both account-to-account and card payments, where the customer perhaps wants to pay with some optionality too. And if I think about things like going forward, what that might look like, it might also include things like consumer protections, liability shifting, that kind of stuff. So I think those are some of the things that will really help drive some of that adoption too.
Sure. Watch this space, and you've highlighted there, of course, the one who's going to benefit the most is the customer, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, Matthew, thank you so much for sharing your insights today. I'll let you get back to the busy event, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you. Thanks, Hannah. Thank you.